hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. Toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head again.
But you make it no worse. Every time you hear these words, I'll be down the road, cause I know the odds are better on my side. I don't want you to try to be wise. Maybe I'm calling you cry. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart beats a beat down, I press the lips just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a child's play in the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Hopefully you set your clocks properly, and that's why you're joining us right now at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, possibly new times for some of us, like myself, where the clocks don't change. I'm Bobby Munson. This is Point of View, and joining me this week, so far at least anyway, we've got him right beside me. We got this, buddy. It's Andre. See, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. I'm still eating breakfast.
It's that early. Well, I mean, you're on par with me now. We're on the same time frame now, buddy. Like moving forward for the next several months or 6 months.
Well, when you don't get out of bed until 8:35 and you got to be on here at 9, you're probably not eating breakfast while you're doing the show. It's just toast and yogurt.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to start the day right there. That's a good, healthy way to kick off your Sunday. But yes, here we are, Point of View. We're going to talk a little bit about sports. If there's much to talk about, I'm not too sure. I mean, I could rant and rave about Manchester United again because we're probably about an hour and a half away from getting our butts handed to us by Arsenal here this morning. I am fearing this matchup like you wouldn't believe. Like, Arsenal currently sitting second place in the Premier League table. quite a bit behind first. Still, like Liverpool's run away with this season altogether. Like it is absolutely nuts at this point, but we desperately need something. Like even a tie at this point would be better than anything else. I mean, victory would be bittersweet because right now with Tottenham currently down 1-0, if that ends up resulting in that direction, Manchester United respectfully could pull themselves into 13th place in the table, moving up a couple of slots from where they're at. But injuries, red cards, everything that could possibly potentially plague us going into today's game are plaguing us. That and the fact that we just haven't been up to par in terms of getting the ball in the back of the net. We tied in the Europa League midweek, 1-1. It is what it is. Arsenal are going to be tough company. But again, here's the thing. All season long, Manchester United have performed better against top clubs than they have against bottom clubs. That's where we've really struggled, is picking up points against struggling teams, and yet managed to pull points, victories over top clubs to either underestimate us or for some reason there's less pressure because they, everybody goes into it believing, well, like we're done anyway. We're not going to get through this thing alive. So maybe it takes that pressure off the guys when it's those cases. And when it's the games they're expected to win, it's almost like they're getting this mental block about them and not being able to deliver. So we'll see. Kickoffs at 10:30.
Well, again, and in sport, it's a lot of it's your big teams tend to underestimate those at the bottom table, and the ones that are like mid table or in the midway in the standings, those lower end ones are fighting tooth and nail to take that spot. It's oh no.
The man is in STG and his repaired
STG.
mind.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh,
Brand new
the
STG
upgrade.
sign. In Sharpie, buddy. I started doing them in Sharpie. The new one's in Sharpie. Boom. Brand new sign for STG.
Not repaired. You got an upgrade STG. Look at that.
Oh
yeah. Look at him. He's losing his mind now.
Got to put it up the class.
Oh, there's an Overlord side. Oh, look at that.
You'll always be my Overlord. Always be my Overlord.
I think that nickname has been fun ever since the get-go. I don't know. I have fun with nicknames. It's whatever. Daddy Bobby, Overlord, whatever. It's all in good fun. You don't get nicknames from people that don't appreciate you and don't like you. So
yeah, you get nicknames by taking terrible pictures.
Yeah. Fair. Fair. Going back to the sports side of things here. We were talking before we went live about you were talking a little bit about F1 because there was a series or documentary. What explain a little bit about what hit Netflix on Friday.
So on Friday we had the season 7 debut of Drive to Survive, which it's a dramatized documentary series about F1. It chronicles the season, but it tells a lot. It's a dramatization of what happens, because again there's rivalries, there's everything throughout the season, but they do tend to play up the rivalries a little more. That when like teammates will have like one little dust up on the track, they'll make it seem like the dust up's been like building the entire season of the races, things like that. Which the McLaren rivalry, you can say, probably was a little more accurate to it last year, because that was a team that ran with they pretty much ran at 2 number 1 drivers and kind of playing it in a weird way, costing themselves stuff at times. But I really enjoy it in the fact that like I got into this series back in season 4. Was listening to a podcast from the Post Wrestling Network. They were talking about it, and I got into it and really enjoyed the dramatization of it all. And so when racing season came around, I'm like, I'll start watching it. I don't watch every race every week. It's, life is busy, but I follow it. I watch if I miss a race, I watch the race highlights. It's like You can watch a whole race in like 20 to 30 minutes because they bring it down to all the really important. Again, it's bringing it down to the important stuff in a race, which a race can be upwards of 2 hours depending on amount of laps and size of track. But yeah, it's I don't know. It just really become a fun sport for me to watch. Because I remember watching it back in the '90s in the Jacques Villeneuve era. Like he was a great Canadian who was winning world in F1. And I remember seeing it back then, but then just never thought about it until recently. And again, really, really fun sport. And me and Mark are both excited for next Sunday because we'll be watching this as that race starts 7 a.m. our time, Bobby. So 2 hours before. So it should be wrapping up right around the time we start Point of View next weekend, which is absolutely perfect. Yeah.
So let's theme next Sunday around that too. We'll have you and Mark talking in depth about what went down and stuff like that. We'll spend a good portion of next Sunday show talking about it.
Oh, dude, I threatened Ed with that the other day. We were chatting backstage after Marvel Talk. He's like, I might not be there for that. I might make sure Bobby doesn't show up for that one too. I'm like, what? It's Bobby's show.
Oh, I'll come and hang out. I mean, if you guys want to shoot the shit about some F1, I mean, I'm always happy to sit here and allow you guys to have the floor and talk about it. I mean, the idea is it's a sports stream, and if there's something new in the world of sports to chat about, then that's what the topic should be, whether or not I watch it or anything. I mean, I'm here to learn. I mean, hell, I don't regularly watch NFL, but after sitting here with you guys and stuff like that, I've been peeking in on NFL more often and everything. I've been tasked at choosing a team, which I've done and stuff now too. So here we go. Like it builds up. The excitement builds when you got friends to hang out with and talk about it with.
Yeah, I agree. It would only
what are you guys
be
talking
8:12
about
in the morning right now. It would only be 8:12 in the morning here if daylight savings didn't hate me. I'll say this: I hated daylight savings more when I used to work at my last job because I would work like Sundays a bunch, right? Like I had every fourth weekend off, but I have to work a lot of Sundays. So when you had the spring ahead, just one less hour of sleep. No, it was a retail job. Just one less hour. It just made it shitty.
Yeah, and see again for me here, I've never known time change, right? Like because we don't change the clocks here in Saskatchewan at all. So the only reference point that I ever had with the times changing, and I said this yesterday, and in fact I said this on Astrid's Traders post-show stream that we were on there yesterday, that here in Saskatchewan, we don't change the clock. So my only reference was when I was a kid having to find out, it's like, oh, why all of a sudden is my show that I watch on Saturday is no longer on at the time it's supposed to be? Why is it on an hour earlier or an hour later kind of thing? Or reference point, pro wrestling. Even as a kid, like trying to tune into WWF Superstars on a Saturday, and it's like, oh, what the hell? Why is all of a sudden Superstars on an hour earlier than it normally is, or something along those lines? Like that's my only reference point I had to the clocks changing at any point in time. And yeah, it's STG WWF Superstars. Yeah. Hey, I got to be there when they taped Bret Hart's promo after becoming the champion here in Saskatoon when he fought Ric Flair. So that was my first ever seeing anything where it was like going to be used for television. That was my first point in time that I saw anything televised being taken care of in pro wrestling. Like to that point, I never thought of anything ever hitting Saskatoon being for television because nothing at the time ever was.
I think my first ever event that was like a record, like actually my first ever wrestling event, and because I had never gone to wrestling before, was Backlash 04. That was my first.
I was there. Out to Edmonton. They made that drive out there, and then our seats were decent. Like we were up not on the floor, but on the hard cam side, one level up, and just a few rows back, kind of thing. Like we were in a very, very good viewing spot that we were in. Just a little, not exactly like dead center with the ring, but just off to more towards the ramp entranceway, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was
in that general zone.
I was in the second bowl, literally the first row of the second bowl, kind of in the corner, like where it starts the curve to go to the this is the old Rexall. I was kind of in the curve on this, like the corner. So yeah, I was there. So it was a really good time. I had a big, I made a sign in my graphic design class where you had to like put it on. I had to put it on this like plastic sheet, and it was like the stuff you put onto the t-shirts, or like how you apply the graphics to a sign. I had to I made one. So like I made my sign, got myself a grade so I could take it to wrestling.
Yeah. So before we go
big
and
edge sign.
Before we go and say hello to Mark joining us now, I just want to mention the sign that I brought to Backlash 04 that pisses me off, that I have scanned that video so many times to try to find my sign. I'm like, those bastards never put my sign on there. So I had a sign where I perfectly drew out Triple H's ugly mug. And on there, I took a long, paper towel tube to extend his nose out, and then drew his big ass nose so that it stuck out about this far. And I put on there, "Keep lying to yourself, Pinocchio," Pinocchio with 3 H's highlighted in the middle. "You're not that damn good." And oh man, I was so proud of this. I'm like, I just made the coolest sign ever. This has to get on TV. I'm on the hard cam side. This has to be shown. And every time I'm like, so disappointed. I go to look, I'm like, I can't even see where, like, it scans by where we were, but every time it's so quick that I can't even pinpoint if we're actually in the video or not, I think. And hello to Mark joining us there.
I have had a very interesting morning, shall we put it that way. So Bobby will know. I've been recording the start of the universe mode that will be coming out tomorrow. So I started recording. I'm still thinking that we're kicking this off at 4:00 my time, right?
Yeah.
So my son has then gone on a destruction crew, and decided to destruct everything. And then I've gone, I haven't heard from Bobby in an hour or so, because normally he tells me he's got certain things to do. My phone hasn't popped up with anything. Normally I get a message through. What then I didn't realise. Yeah, hold on. And you as well. What I didn't realize is that if I have Discord slightly open on my computer, none of the messages go through my phone.
Yep. I know that problem.
Yep.
So I then was like, all right, okay. I saw Ed saying something, and I was like, well, I've got an hour anyway, because we normally kick off at 4:00 my time. So I'm like, I got 45 minutes, and then I read your message, Bobby, above me. And he went, are you coming? I went, what was he on about? And then I looked at Discord and you've gone live. I went, the fuck is happening? So basically that has been, I have played, and I've been very ill the past few days as well. So it's been an interesting time. I see STG, serious question. What would you rate 2K25 out of 5? At this precise moment, I would give it at least a 4. At least a 4 out of 5. There's a few bugs in there that we already know that 2K know about, because they've already done a patch for it. I've played through My Rise. I've completed it, but then you've got about 45 different endings, so you have to go back. Same type of story, but do different things to it. I've already done one path. I'm going to go back and do the others whenever I want. I've completed the 2K showcase, which, by the way, is the best showcase they've ever done, hands down, by far. The stories and the matches and everything in there is the best one. The only gripe I have with the showcase mode, I'm not uploading it because I did showcase of the last game, and they copyrighted fucking everything. So I'm not even going to try and do that again. But there's a timer on some of the tasks that they don't need to put timers in. If you're on like legend, I wasn't on legend difficulty doing showcase because there's no point. But when you do showcase, you put on legend difficulty, you're going to be doing the same one about 45 times. But apart
in the last one, I never got past like the third legends mode, the third thing. I was like, fuck
What
this
was the
game.
last one?
In
The last
2024,
one,
whatever it was.
Yeah, I can't remember what the
40
last one
years
was.
of 40 years.
Oh,
of
the
naming or whatever.
WrestleMania. Yeah, the WrestleMania one. Yeah, I always complete that.
I got like 3 of men. I got 3 in, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need all the extras. I'm good.
I always do it just in case. So if Bobby decides to go absolutely batshit crazy with his booking and decides to go, I want Jacob Fatu's dad alongside Fatu, then I'm gonna go. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go play the whole showcase again. So I had to do that,
or just download a Haku.
No, no, because the cause. I'm not.
no,
I'm
his
not a
dad's,
fan.
and his
No,
dad's not
I'm
Haku.
No, I'm
He's the
thinking.
Tonga kid.
I'm thinking his boys. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
But no. So
Who's his dad? Who's his
I-
dad?
The Tonga
He's-
kid is Fatu's dad.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I always do them. Always unlock them all, just in case I want to do a random something or play something really, really utterly random. Tottenham 2-0 down. And so I always do it. The island. How do I put this nicely? Needs a lot of work. They got the same principles as NBA 2K. And I've played NBA 2K, and I actually quite like. I can't play the basketball game. I'm really shit at it, but I used to play it all the time just to get better at it. But the island is one of those things where they've gone, this is a really good idea. This is carry on the 2K family. But then what they've then done is they've crammed so much stuff onto this island and not thought about, what about if one thing goes wrong, how will it affect? And I went on the island. I've been on the island 3 times. And out of the 3 times, I got kicked out twice. It said I had no internet connection when I know for a fact I do. Because that internet connection I've got here, if it was at the last place where I lived before, I'll probably agree with it. But with this place, I know for a fact because my uploads from when I record on the PlayStation to upload it to a YouTube channel, it takes around about 5 minutes. And I tested it randomly, and it was not a problem. But they haven't really, they're doing it. It's all right. I would give it a 4 because the gameplay is so good. The gameplay is so good. It's so much better.
Have they gone back to all controls yet?
No.
I hate
No,
the
they've
new
got
control
that
system. So fucking dumb.
You can change it. You know that, right? You can go in control settings and change it to the way you want.
I can go back to the
that.
old stick system? Oh, fuck yeah. I like the old system from like 2019. That's what I like.
Yeah, but you're also then going to be missing out a lot of stuff because the new system, there's different buttons for certain things now. So you're going to have to change buttons for it. The new system's a lot better than the old system.
I hate it.
I
hated 24 systems, though.
Yeah, because you're old and you can't go change. But
that's right. That is right.
but it's one of those things where 2K has got it right. They've got this right. They've got the gameplay right. They've got the most important thing of this, as in having a match. Bloodline rules, batshit crazy. The underground match. It's basic, but there's a lot of improvements that can be done to it. But it's good for the basic level it's at. What is the other? I haven't done the referee modes yet, where you could every match now can have a referee in it, a special guest referee. Any match. I haven't played GM mode. I haven't even pressed the button for it yet. For that.
Oh, dude! I saw a video of somebody just taking code just constantly beating up on the female ref. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah,
I guess you could beat up the female ref now.
You could do men versus men, men versus women, men and men versus women, men and women versus women and men. That type of thing. You gotta. I can give a little. I'm not gonna give spoilers, but I know this week Bobby's booked a batshit crazy main event. That's coming up. I think that's tomorrow. No, he's not in it yet. No. He's not in it yet.
He's in the DLC. He's in the DLC.
He will be coming. He will be coming later on. It's way too early for him to be in the game anyway.
They should have had it. They should have patched him in already, man. He's that good.
He's only been in 2 months before the game even come out.
Doesn't matter. It's Penta Zeromero. And we're getting Ray Phoenix in the next month or two. Come on.
Yeah, you're gonna have to download him as a core. That ain't coming into the game unless they get him near the end where they add him in as a DLC. They have done that before once, I think, if I remember. CM Punk was the one that was added in halfway through the game. So that could be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, and then Lauren's booked weird but intelligent matches. And I will give you a spoiler for my show. Later on, I think it's Saturday next week. I haven't decided to do the heel Cena turn in the game. He starts as a heel, and he has a new group that he's with. I have created that myself. So that's
the Nexus.
No,
the Nexus returns.
But there is a T-shirt that's on John Cena that I download. I went on Chords and I went, someone's got to have made something funny by now on the game, and I went on it, and it was so incredibly brilliant. I was like, yeah, I'm using that. And then we also as well, I don't know whether we spoke about it on here before, but on Sundays or most Sundays or some Sundays, we got a new show called Underground. And that's basically a mixed tag team championships that can be defended between 2 men versus 2 women, or you can have a man and a woman versus man and a woman, all kinds of genders in that match. That is a championship I have created, and we also have the Underground World Championship, where any time that title is defended, it's in underground rules, where you don't win by pinfall. The only way to win is by submission, TKO, or KO. And I will give it a little heads up. Next Sunday will be Dominic Mysterio versus Rhea Ripley. The winner of that will be crowned the first ever Underground World Champion. By the way.
No. Lola Vice is the official Underground champion. We all know that. So
I will make you happy. I did draft Lola Vice in the draft. She is coming to SmackDown.
Just as a reminder, that was like at 13 or 14 when there wasn't very many left to pick from.
It was quite late on. It was very late on when I did it. But I just finished recording, I think I would say about an hour ago. I need to turn my camera off.
Yep.
Question to that. You're booking TNA still on that show? Or?
No. So for the new series, we have gone ahead and changed it up. So now I'm in charge of Raw. Lauren's got NXT and Mark has SmackDown. So we're keeping the traditional WWE events. There's going to be more premium live events throughout the entire series, and then also longer builds sometimes between. So instead of just we have one off week to build to a premium live event. Some of them, depending on the show, will have a 2-week build going into them. Some of them are going to be themed. And again, I don't know if we want to spoil any of that, but just the idea of where
I'm fine with it. So during the series, we're going to have the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, where we will be doing 2 brackets. We will have a men's bracket and a women's bracket. I haven't thought of what winners. We will be having King and Queen of the Ring. We will have a bracket for the men's, for the King, and we have another bracket for the Queen of the Ring. We will be having a special Evolution show where it's just an all-women's PLE. That will be coming later on the season once people create the arenas, because I can't be asked. And what was the other one I said? King of the Ring, Dusty Rhodes. That was all of them, wasn't it?
I think so. Outside of that, it's a lot of the standard. I mean, I know we're doing like Halloween Havoc and stuff like that. Like, so there's a lot more that we haven't done in terms of the themed premium live events, but there's lots to come. There's going to be a lot of fun to be had. And, you know, again, the ruling this series too was that we had to use not current because some of them have recently lost their jobs to WWE, but they had to be people that are active wrestlers currently, other than we were allowed 1 legend at the end. We ended up doing 1 legend only. Other than that, it's all a lot of fresh faces.
Oh, so you don't have like
faces.
So you don't have like in New Japan people in this run.
No creative characters for this series.
Well,
I
again,
don't-
we're only 2 days in, right? So we're only 2
That's
days
right,
into
yeah.
the cause being.
Yeah.
I understand why. Maybe in a season or two, maybe in the next season you'll be able to do some outside of the box characters.
We might do, but then also at the same time, there's so many wrestlers on
There
here
is a lot.
that what I did discover that we did last season, which I was all right with, is we used a lot of cores.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like I want to create a series. I take a lot of inspiration from these YouTubers called Gore and Perkins. They are two friends who sit down, create a universe mode, and go absolutely mental and have fun with it. And I love watching their stuff. And I want to incorporate. They only ever bring cores in unless they're like a Will Ospreay or a Daniel Bryan, that type of thing. I was doing cores for a fucking core at one point, and it just wasn't fun. But I've done a match for my SmackDown, which how do I put will divide the internet. Yeah, we'll divide. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Logan Paul did an open challenge, and the open challenge was announced by Ethan Page. Who, if you don't know, if you haven't watched the draft video, Ethan Page is my #1 overall pick for SmackDown. And that was a fun match.
He's a good Canadian boy. He's a good Canadian boy.
And there's a match coming that I'm
the best of us.
That I'm recording tomorrow, that there's a certain 3-letter finisher that will be going up against a very excellent prospect. So
TKO, the TKO, the swinging cutter, the TKO.
Yeah, let's go with that.
The funny part about you picking Ethan Page first was that he was on my list or whatever as someone I was going to take. And I was debating. I'm like, do I go for him first or do I leave him because there might be a chance that he won't go in the first round? So I'm like, I better take Fatu because if I don't, I knew you were going to pick Fatu.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take Fatu first. Yeah. I was like, I'm taking Fatu first and foremost. I was like, and then hopefully we'll get to round 2 and I'll be able to pick Ethan Page. If we get to your pick and you're like, all you go Ethan Page, I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, I did not see that one swinging that way. But it was the sacrifice. Had I not picked Fatu, you were going to take Fatu. So
it
one
was,
or the other.
When I was thinking of picking, it was between either Ethan Page or the guy that's going to, fuck it, I announce it now. The guy that's going to be fighting Randy Orton, Javon Evans. I wanted someone that is young. Ethan Page is not young, but someone that hasn't really been in the game that I can really build a really interesting story for. And as soon as I picked Ethan Page, and as soon as I picked certain other wrestlers, I went, Bobby knows the group, all right? I did slightly spoil it for him because I was so excited while I was creating it. I was like, I'm going to send it to Bobby and Lauren just to show them how batshit crazy I'm thinking. But yeah.
Well, I have your draft video queued up, ready to go when this is over. So
It was fun.
That was fun.
The best part is just like right after the intro video stops and Lauren's got her single hooter in her hand right then, and we're about to start, and she's just like ready to start lighting, and she goes, "Oh," and just politely puts it down right away.
But I'm gonna point something out for everyone as well. And Bobby was there. I said, right, I'm starting recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press the record button. The video then played on the screen, not edited in. It was played on the screen, so she saw it was coming, and all of a sudden the camera went. She went. I was like,
it's best moment. It's so funny. It is priceless.
It was, yeah. But no, the game. If you haven't got the game, I would 100%. If you're umming and ahhing about it, I would 100% get the game. It's a lot better than 2K24. There's a few bugs here and there, but we all know that when I think it's Friday, the 14th, is when the game comes up for everyone. If you haven't pre-ordered it, so if you haven't pre-ordered it, then the game
So if
comes
I
out
buy
then.
it now, can I play it?
I don't know.
Technically, it's a pre-order. If I order it now,
I think because it's a pre-order, if you order any version now, it will come out for you on the 14th. I think because I've tried to do that before, and it still didn't let me do it until the full release date. So yeah,
I don't have the money right now, anyways.
No, it's just one of those things. It's a great game. I'm excited to see where they go with this, because if this is the foundation, because 2K24 was, we absolutely screwed up 23. Here's something nice. Then they've gone, we need to step up, and they have. The game, as in the gameplay when you're in the ring, feels more of a wrestling match than it did the last game, and it's also harder as well. I've struggled, and in 2K24, I found way too easy near the end, and I was on the hardest difficulty there was. I found it too easy at the end. But this one has more potential to go places and become the best game. I think that if they fix a few of these bugs, 2K25 will go down as one of the best wrestling games ever. And I'm not just underplaying that because it's new and I want a sponsorship from them, even though I do, because I play a game every day.
Now I'm going to go play my 2K24. Damn.
Yeah, it's a great game. 2K24 is a great game.
I got mine for free through PlayStation Plus, because they released it as one of the PlayStation Plus games. I think in was it November or December?
Yeah.
So I downloaded it as one of my PlayStation Plus games. But I honestly, the game's really fun. I'm not a fan of that control, but I know I can change it. But I found these, I was going through the cause. So I'm very much a Japanese wrestling fan. So I like to go in universe mode and make my New Japan, my Stardom, my Noah. But the other thing I hate is the fucking 1,000 image limit. I'm like, I have a giant PS5 with this. Why can I only download 1,000 images? This shouldn't be a problem. I know it's not a problem on the computer. I know if you do it on your laptop, you can get around that, or if you do it on a computer. I was reading there's ways around it on the computer.
Yeah.
If you're playing it on PC, but on the I'm like, eat my ass.
Yeah, it's always been the same. They've never changed that limit. They haven't changed that limit for the past 4 games, I think.
Yeah, and again, I my only gripe is because when I download New Japan arenas, it's not just
about 45,000 logos.
And then all the logos on the map, but that's for each one I download too, which is really sucks. So I've got it around that by getting deleting images from it and everything, but it's still really annoying, to have to do all that. Or I've started just designing my own arenas, but they don't look as good, and yeah. Or I look for the more basic built ones that still look good, but yeah, but then now I want to build Noah arenas, so again, more logos, and it's
No, that is the problem at the moment, is the amount of logos, and why is this new that you can have on it for that. But at the same time, there's always restrictions to every game, and there was always issues with 2K24 with certain things, but 2K25 is a phenomenal game. Could go down as one of the best. And I think the one thing that I say me, but it was more of a group. I brought up the topic, and as Bobby said, we very much I thought with 2K24 the last season that it was a long series. It's a long series. They always are. These ones, but you don't need to watch it all the way through. You could just pick it up wherever you want and wherever you want to go with it. As much as I want you to stick around the whole way through, I know people have lives, so they might just pick it.
I'll admit that's what I had to do. I picked and choose the episodes I wanted to watch. Mainly ones where Bobby was booking. Mainly the ones Bobby was booking. So
Bobby had weird bookings he did last season.
And you want to know something? That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm very much. I found that this series for me is very much. I'm going full storytelling. Before was what I wanted, but I want a story that goes from the first show to WrestleMania, but there's a little bits in between that gets broken up.
It always changes. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what our intent is
No.
going in. Like I usually have no idea at the start.
Yeah.
Like I'll start booking stuff and we'll see what happens. And then 4 weeks later, it's like, well, that changed directory.
Lauren wanted to do a booking this week. I won't say which match it is. And I got battered. I got so battered by the person I was meant to win as. Lauren went, oh no. I went, yeah, my bad. On that one, I literally tried to cheat and it still wouldn't work. But no, there's this, and as what I said, I want more storytelling for all of the general managers. So that's why there's certain times that there's 2-week breaks instead of what then we used to do the weekly show, then the PLE, then a weekly show. Now there's more time to go through what we're doing.
More time to utilize some of those people we weren't using as often too, because you're building with the other people. Before we go more into that, though, I just want to give a quick update because Manchester United's released their lineup for today's game against Arsenal. I just want to go through this real quick here. So they have announced Joshua Zirkzee is starting up front as our striker with Garnacho and Fernandez in support behind him. We got Mazraoui as the right wing back, Delo as the left wing back. We got Casemiro and Eriksson as the holding centers. And then you got Lindelof, Delete, and Yoro on the back three, Onana and net. And then a who's who of kids that you probably have never heard of on our bench here today. I mean, we've heard of Rasmus Højlund, granted. I mean, if you follow closely, you know him, but they've got Aiden Heaven, who they just picked up from Arsenal, young kid. Harry Amos, the left back on there. Toby Collier, the center midfield player. Dermot William Mee, I'm not as familiar with. Same with, these names, some of them. Eli Harrison, I'm guessing. Cheeto Obi Martin, Jack Fletcher getting onto the bench here today, and then Jack Morehouse. Again, a bunch of young people who have never played before. It seems more and more that they're just Amarim's like, what else do I have left to lose? And he's getting to that point of like, let's just throw some of these kids out here and see what sticks, because you can't get it can get worse for them. It can get worse for them.
I forgot you're playing Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But again, like I was telling Andre at the start, though, here's the crazy part is United this season have done better against the top clubs than they have against the bottom performing clubs. We can't pick up points to save our lives against teams that are struggling for points this season. But then we go out against a City or a Liverpool or an Arsenal. We're drawing or, pulling off victories at times too. Like, it's been a very odd season for us. Very odd season. So, I mean, as always, go Manchester United, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I like winning.
Arsenal are gone with David Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. They are the back five with Partey and Rice. And then Odegaard will be in front of them with Nawari. Absolutely love that man. Trossard, and they got no striker. So Minero is up top for Arsenal. Now that I've seen Arsenal's team, I don't think it'd be that bad.
It could be worse, but yeah.
I was going to say, can we switch to the other football for a minute?
Yeah.
Ask Mark a couple questions.
Go to town, brother.
Buffalo's the rumor is Buffalo's are going to be releasing their player Von Miller.
Yeah, they just done it.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it? Like again, I understand, but it's like they made some weird decisions. They got rid of their top receivers last year. Now they're getting rid of one of their top defensive players. What are they doing?
Hopefully being below Miami next season. But Von Miller's one of those players that's been around for years. He's 35. Unless they're looking to bolster, and there's loads of free agents this year that I've really clocked onto them before, but
going after youth, possibly. letting out the older
Yeah,
players.
but if you're, this is not going to me sound like I'm shitting on Buffalo as much as I want it, but it's not. But if you were that close to beating the Chiefs, right, you would release what, 1 or 2 and add better. Who's better out there than Von Miller? Apart
Not
from
a
age,
lot.
and also cap space. He's going to save you a lot more money than you would go for someone who's what, 25, 26, and he's been playing in the league. Who are you going to trade for? No one. There's no one who's got Von Miller's experience to do that. So unless they found an absolute gem in the draft, or they think that they could draft a gem, still weird for me. Still very weird.
Yeah, and again, it's an odd positioning. Is that like, again, the other half is that maybe I don't know, because obviously they're releasing him, so maybe he's got his contract issues, and he wants too much money. That could be it too. Again, you're also looking at this team who's trying to. Again, you're paying Josh Allen's already an insane amount of money. How much are you? Again, you have to spend, but you need strong defense to get you over the hump, and that's where I think Buffalo struggled this year on the defense. Their offense played well, their defense saved them at times, but did struggle points of the game. So you have to look at it going, but was it really Von Miller's fault? No, he played well all season. Like he played well, and just they make weird decisions. Again, trading away their top receivers last year and now getting rid of one of their top defensive players. It's an odd choice that Buffalo keeps making, and you wonder what they're doing. Like I gotta talk to Mike. I gotta talk to Mike the ref, because he is a ride or die Bills fan. He's been a Bills fan since he was a little boy. I need to have a conversation with him about him, going, what the fuck is wrong with your team?
So Josh Allen's contract this season coming up this season, there will be a $14 million cap hit on that. Then it goes up to $22 million next year in 2026. Then it goes to 14, then 10, and then he can be a free agent at the age of 33. But he's 20.
A smaller contract, didn't he?
So his was a six-year, $258 million contract.
But a lot of that's bonuses, right? Because again, only some of it hits cap, because a lot of it plays. A lot of that contract plays in by bonuses. You got to remember that, because you're only making 14 a year, like 14, 10, 14. Yeah. That's only going to make up for about 60 to 70 million worth of the contract. The rest is all bonuses.
So it says here his contract notes.
Not yet, Ed, but we will. That'll be our last topic of the day already coming up.
Oh, we will talk about it. I just want to ask about some other footy. I want to talk about the other footy of it.
But if you look at the contract notes, the $100 million guaranteed at signing, and then there's roster bonus for the salary plus roster bonus to 2021, 2022 salary, 2022 option bonus, 2023 salary plus the 2024. And it just says here 2025, the roster bonus, obviously he's going to be on it. He's getting $25 million converted to 2024 signing bonus. So he won't take up that much cap space if you're thinking about it. Because there's the new cap now that's 297 now. Is it 297?
Yeah.
200, something like that.
Keep having to raise it for all these freaking quarterback contracts, man. They have to keep raising it.
Can we? This is just the chat for the Dolphins. Okay. Keep Hill. If you think he'll work, keep him. Okay. There's a certain person called Myles Garrett, right? He's out there. Might want to have a bit of a sniff. All right. Have a little bit of a sniff. Go sniff his bumhole a little bit like a dog, and make sure you can bring him back home. There's loads. There's loads of people. Aaron Rodgers. Do not touch Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if you want a backup for Tua. Please, for the love of God, do not touch Aaron Rodgers.
The best thing Oakland did was get Geno Smith and not go after Rodgers. I was so
what is going on
when
with
I heard
Seattle?
the Raiders. I think they're. I honestly, I think they're heading to rebuild because DK Metcalf looks like he's on the way out. Gino just left. I honestly feel like they're at such a point where they're not performing at that certain place, and Gino isn't going to get them there. DK can get them there, but Gino, I don't think Gino's a great quarterback, and where he's
Really
going,
good.
I think he's a great improvement for the Raiders. DK is a superstar. Like why he's leaving, that is perplexing to me. I know STG must be freaking out of his head, but I look at it and like it's I think a couple rebuilding years for the Seahawks because again, if you're giving away pieces like that, you're looking to do something. You're looking to rebuild some things. Again, I think they're looking to draft strong. Everybody's looking for their Jaden Daniels. That's the scary part. Everybody looks wants to see the next Jaden Daniels. But I look at Jaden the same way I look at Jalen Hurts. Look at when Hurts came into the league. He looked like Jaden Daniels. And then but people hadn't played him, hadn't seen a lot of pro footage. I think Jaden Daniels next year is still going to do incredible things. But you got a year of footage of this guy playing at the pro level. Now defenses and play and just for Jaden Daniels a little better. He's still tremendous. But again, that's what I think everybody's looking for now. And there's not always going to be a Jaden. Look at Caleb Williams. He was drafted ahead of Jaden Daniels.
He will be better than him.
I think he's going to improve and improve. But again, he's
Chicago absolutely cooking with their trades right now and free agencies that they're picking up. Completely changed the offensive line, which is what Ben Johnson had to do. And I also want to ask,
but shore up the defensive line too. They also have a defensive problem.
Yeah.
They have an offensive and defensive problem in Chicago.
Yeah.
That is the biggest issue. That they have both. They're fucked up both sides.
Yeah, but then they're going to get better with that. So I'm interested to see how they do this year for it. But also, I would like to ask the San Francisco 49ers, whose dumbassery thought it'd be a good idea to give Jaden Daniels more fucking weapons than Deebo Samuels. I know Deebo Samuels.
All I can do is
guaranteed.
Be happy.
Yeah, well, you're Arizona, so it's fine.
No, I'm a Commanders fan, but I'm taking Arizona because he's taking Commanders, so I'll take Arizona.
Bobby, my brain is hurting again. Bobby, my brain is hurting again. But no, it's very much.
And they're in the same conference too.
No, which is the worst thing you could have done. It's like me, like it literally is like, right?
Yes.
If I was a Man United fan, I went, no, I'm going to be a Man City fan now. Bobby, how would you feel if I did that?
I'd slit a person's throat.
There we go.
Again, you also got to remember, it's not like I've been watching NFL for my entire life. I've only been watching it. But again, I picked the team when I literally went like this and picked the Cardinals when I started watching.
Okay,
so
watching
stick to them, bro.
I sucked, so I started cheering for the Commanders when they still sucked.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I picked the Dolphins, and my team hasn't won a fucking playoff game.
All right.
I'm gonna go off on one again, Bobby.
We're speaking of the Dolphins. This is gonna be the last thing we're gonna bring up here as we're getting close to the top of the hour.
Now.
So this Wednesday, WWE debuted Evolve. It was on YouTube or Tubi. And what the middle match of the night, they start introducing this Carver guy, and I'm like, this is a big old boy. This looks like somebody I'm interested in. I'm psyched. Let's see which poor victim he ends up having to fight. And they introduce former Miami Dolphins Trill London as his opponent in this matchup. And poor Trill London got demolished by Carver. He got eaten alive by Carver. Now, don't get me wrong. Trill London sold very, very well, and he had to, because this big old boy was batting him around like he was a cat batting around a ball of yarn or something like that. This Trill London was flying all over the ring from the shoulder checks and tackles that big old Carver was throwing down there. It was an impressive debut, but as I'm sitting there, I'm like, this couldn't have got any better. I get a big old boy coming out to the ring, and his first victim just conveniently happens to be a former Miami Dolphins player.
I haven't watched it yet. I need to go and watch it. I haven't had the time yet. This
on
week,
YouTube.
I just involved
show.
in most.
It was a
on
really
YouTube
good
for
show.
It's on YouTube for us, so
Yeah, it's on
get
YouTube for us, so
YouTube
I need
for
to
us.
go on there. Yeah,
it's on
I'm gonna
YouTube.
watch
It's on
it.
YouTube. You know, it's the old YouTube.
YouTube. It is a good program, though. It has an independent feel. Like, it's got, obviously, you know, the quality of the ring and stuff like that is there because of the money that they have involved and everything. But the arena is small. It's got just enough people in it that are all friends and family of the performers. So they're noisy, they're loud, it's fun. It has an indie feel, and you get introduced to a lot of great new faces. And you can find Ed reviewing it on Wednesday nights over on his channel there. But yeah, what a great debut of that, as well as Ed's show as well too. So go follow Ed on Twitch if you want to follow along on Wednesday evenings. Right now following Marvel Talk. So head on over to Ed's channel to check out his recent Evolve review, and then also the one coming up for this Wednesday as well too. But yeah, it's been delightful. But guys, get to the top of the hour. Any final things we want to mention before we start?
Formula One.
We did talk a little bit of it, but I do want to ask Mark, because me and Bobby actually talked Drive to Survive. I wanted to just kind of highlight that show because, again, it's great.
It's great. He's frozen.
It's not me. It's not me.
No,
right.
he's good.
Can I ask as well? Has he been doing that throughout the show?
It's happened a couple, not full on frozen like this one, but a couple of times.
I legit thought it was me. I legit thought that's why I never said anything. I was like, am I the one that keeps losing everyone? What's going on here?
No.
By the way, how does my mic sound?
It's good. Very clear. You're
good,
clear.
Because I brought a new one and I got an arm now.
Oh, even better. So there you go. Stepping it up.
Anyway, Formula One starts next week before Andre comes back and ruins my life. Formula One comes back next week. Drive to Survive. I can't turn my camera, but I have Netflix on right now. I'm watching the first episode of Drive to Survive of the new series. I've watched all the others, but I'm interested to see how they direct Drive to Survive this year. Because if you watch it every single week, you know what happens in certain races and what certain things happen and all of that. But I'm interested to see how they go and take it for this series. But have you watched it yet?
No, I mean I've never watched any of it. Andre was trying to convince me into it, and maybe I'll see about timing and everything like that.
So the first episode, they did decide that the first episode was right. Let's get all the allegations about everyone out now. And I was like, Jesus, you're throwing everyone under the bus in the first episode. I love it. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Hard fail on my computer.
Okay, hard fail on Andre's computer. Well, that's unfortunate. Sorry we lost you midstream, but in case you don't make it back in as we are getting to the end, if anybody wants to reach out to Andre, you can do so at That Canada Guy across all social media and everything like that. And you can find him here, of course, on Point of View. Hopefully again next weekend, which Andre and I talked about having be a very F1 heavy day, because apparently 2 hours before we go live, you guys have got an F1 show happening, or race or something happening.
It's not 2 hours before. It's that day. The race happened in like quite a bit hours before it. Okay. But it's on that day. Yeah, Andre, I wasn't sure if you were going to make it back or not, brother. So we thought we'd give those shout outs and stuff. But yeah, next Sunday, I'm sure we'll be able to give you and Mark the floor to talk some heavy F1 talk for next Sunday. So that should be interesting. But Mark, seeing as we're at that point, I'm going to throw your ticket up there, brother. What do you got coming up? Where can the people find you? Well, we discussed quite a lot earlier about my wrestling channel, where you'll see starting tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if the times have gone back or forward for them yet or not. I don't know what you guys are doing.
It switched this morning, yeah.
Well, they've gone back, so it might be
whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't switch them here. I have no idea how it works.
Yeah, I have no idea. But around that time, just look at 8 p.m. UK time and then work back to where you are. Is when the next episode will be coming out tomorrow. First day will be Monday Night Raw, and it will be old Bobby Munson's debut in Raw. Then Lauren will be taking over NXT, and I will be taking over SmackDown. So make sure you are there for that. And then on Mark Talks Football, I need to grab Bobby after this because we need to do a season review that I really do not want to do. But you will be able to see the ending of that season coming up for you this week. So make sure you go and check that out. But the whole aim is to get South Shields hella fucking Premier League. So this could be fun.
Yeah, well, maybe one day. In case I missed anything, Andre, while we were doing your shout outs there for you, let people know if there's anything else we missed.
X and Blue Sky at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Thread. Or not TikTok. I'm not on TikTok anymore. So Instagram and Threads at That Canada Dude. I'm technically on TikTok. I just don't have it on my phone anymore because I don't see the point. Yeah, every Wednesday, Daredevil. Come check it out. Me and the boys. Yeah, Sunday. I'll be back. Point of view. I forgot the Australian Grand Prix is on at 11 my time. So like 7 in the morning for you, Mark? Isn't it like 4? Jesus.
It's
you're
4
only
or
5
5
hours
in the morning.
ahead of me?
It's 4 or 5 in the morning. I can't remember. I'm not sure.
Wow,
I need to
you're
look at my phone.
No, it's probably about 7 hours.
I thought
Yeah.
7 hours different.
you
Yeah,
But
it's
also,
probably
sorry.
it's about 5 p.m. your time right now, isn't it, Mark?
4.
I got a question. Mark, what
4?
time is it for
Okay,
you? Right
okay, so 6 hour difference right now.
Yeah, 4 a.m. race time for me next week. I'm not getting up for that. I'm going to record it and then watch it when I wake up.
I'm going to watch it live because it's at 11 p.m. my time. I'm going to jump off. My internet just keeps failing. I got to close this.
No worries, Andre. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday,
Bye,
brother.
everybody.
See ya. And for myself, Bobby, there again, there's my ticker down below. What have I got coming up? You can join myself and Papa Smokes at the new Eastern time because we're playing on Saskatchewan time and you're just going to have to live with it. It's 9:05 p.m. Eastern time starting this Thursday night for Ring Respect Radio. You can catch us every Saturday afternoon on Prairie Pro Wrestling where we give you a new match from our vaults. I don't even remember what match is coming up this Saturday. Maybe it's the tag title match. I don't remember, but go subscribe to us and you'll find out for yourself in due time. Then I'll be back here next Sunday, Point of View. And also go and do me a favor, check it out. I just dropped it on Friday. It's my interview with my good buddy Brad Scribner of Chainfire and Studio Scrib. We talked all about musical recordings. We talked about making music videos. And we also talked about when our two bands met each other for the very first time playing a show in our early days together. So that is an awesome interview. Go check it out. And you can find all that stuff right here on OLE Podcast. Check us out on all social media, YouTube and Twitch, where we want to get a like, follow, subscribe, especially here on YouTube. Subscribes. We're at 691. We're almost over 700. Help us keep that rising. Do us a favor and go ahead, click subscribe, notification bell, leave us a comment and thumbs up. All that stuff always helps out. But that's going to be it for this week of Point of View. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you in a week's time. Take care, everybody.